I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, February the 2nd, brought to you in part by Norfenicol by Norbrook. Norfenicol is basically a generic Nuflor, but it's not as thick, comes in plastic bottles, and has a shorter sub-Q withdrawal period. Let Norfenicol get you to the bottom of BRD fast. For more information, go to norbrook.com. Fats are $3 higher in the Southern Plains. We don't see gains like that very often. But with the positive week we had on the fundamental side, and then the board was up so much on Thursday following the inventory report that come in that said we had the smallest inventory of cattle since 1951 and the smallest calf crop since 1941. A lot of bullishness around. And so $3 in the Southern Plains was big. The Northern Plains gained ground too, but not quite that much. But it was a really good day on Thursday, and I assume it will carry over here into Friday. But just been a good 2 weeks here that we've had with big gains on all classes of cattle, and everybody at the cattle convention very excited about the market, and most people on a positive note. They did vote on the disease traceability directive on Thursday that basically was going to make things make all of us put mandatory EID tags in, but with big pressure before they even got that to a vote, they had it watered down so much that basically it's just business as usual, and we'll go right ahead with that. They did say that NCBA continues to support EID, and we know sometime down the road or another we're probably going to see that come back up again. They're going to keep chipping away. They've already got the Holstein feeders with EID tags eventually someday, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon. But we'll probably have it in breeding age cattle over 18 months of age, and then who knows, sometime or another we may have it come on all classes of cattle, but we're sure not ready for it yet, and we don't have to worry about that as of yet. So got that pushed back, and that was a rare victory that we saw at NCBA cattle convention there. We did have a lot of pushback for my reports here on Feeder Flash and DVAuction, NationalBeefWire. We had affiliates that were walking around the trade show floor on Wednesday night, and they were going to every booth that advertises or sponsors this information that I give you here on the Feeder Flash on NationalBeefWire and DVAuction as we work all together there. But it didn't knock many of them off their perch, so we're feeling pretty good about our sponsors. If you guys would like to sponsor DVAuction, NationalBeefWire, or the Feeder Flash, get a hold of us. We're starting a new year here. We've got some room. We sure be glad to take you. But tell you what, that's kind of dirty pool to be doing to somebody that's in the information business. And I'll just tell you that I no longer have the warm and fuzzy feeling that whenever I look at those blue white lettered signs that are usually posted around the entrance of the ranches down in Texas and southwestern part of the country. Let's talk about the board on Thursday. February live cattle futures up $2.40 at 179.75. April was up $2.47 at 183.17. Your back months were all up big from $1.60 higher to $2.27 higher. Feeder cattle saw huge gains, especially nearby. March feeder cattle up $4.72 at 244.87. That's about $5 higher than the RTI and about $7 higher than your latest CME cash feeder cattle index, but that's for March. Your April contracts are up $4.37 at 250.52. That sounds pretty good for an 800-pound steer. And your back months are all up big from 312 to 390. Your grain, Chicago Board of Trade March corn was down a penny at 447 1/4. March beans down 19 cents at 1203 1/4. Kansas City hard red winter wheat for March down 1 1/4 cents a bushel at 6.20 3/4. Fat cattle was, the trade was active on Thursday, and we saw a lot, I wouldn't say a lot, but we saw active trading in all of your 4 out of the 5 major feeding areas that we get information from. But it's just good to see all areas trading, and not Friday night, but on Thursday morning and up through 2 o'clock. At Iowa, we saw 5,600 head sell, and that's 6,100 for the week. Live prices in Iowa from 173 to 178. A lot of people in Northern Plains priced at 180, and they were not able to get there, but we saw a few people sell out. Your dress market was 278 to 280. Nebraska, 8,900 head sold early on Thursday, 9,400 for the week. The only live price we saw was 176, which is not really what they wanted. We saw quite a bit of dress trade from 278 to 280.75. Kansas sold 4,000 on Thursday, 5,000 for the week. Live price 178, dress price 280. And Texas sold 3,300 on Thursday. That's all they'd sold up through the week, with live prices from 177 to mostly or almost entirely at 178. So the Southern Plains was $3 higher than last week. Northern Plains so far mostly $1 higher, but we're expecting a lot more trade if they get closer to that 180 that they want. And their dress price was $3 higher than last week. Box beef cutout values were mixed. Choice cuts up 40 cents at 294.94. Selects down 92 cents at 283 1/4. Your slaughter, fairly impressive this week. 505,000 harvested up through the first 4 days of the week. That's 13,000 more than the same time a week ago, and 9,000 more than the same time a year ago. Actual slaughter information come in 2 weeks late. Had your average dressed steer carcass weight at 918 pounds, plunged another 9 pounds. So that bitter cold snap, it really sapped the weight off these cattle, and we know it. And now it's finally starting to come to fruit. Talk about your livestock risk services. That is your LRP specialist there. And you can talk with Dakota Moss there in Oklahoma City, or all the agents that he has working with him all around Oklahoma and around the edges there. But give him a call or get a hold of him at livestockriskservices.com. Talk about what else is going on. Ferapiece, the revolutionary product that we talk about all the time, that takes the anxiety away and lowers the stress on these cattle. It helps them in weaning. It helps them when you're mixing cattle together. If you're going to move cattle, whatever you're going to be doing with them, it's easier with less stress. I got to see Dr. Rodrigo at the convention on Thursday. He was in good spirits, and things are going good for him. We're going to continue talking about Ferapiece and promoting it into 2024. But for more information on Ferapiece, go to ferapiece.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DVAuction late in the day on Thursday, sitting at 239.75, up another 64 cents. It was up big on Wednesday and climbed even a little bit more on Thursday. Your latest CME cash feeder cattle index sitting at 237.95. Talk about your big sales on Thursday. Winter livestock in Pratt, Kansas sold 4,100 head. The market was $6 to $12 higher where tested, and just a snappy market there. Saw a lot of really stick out prices in Pratt, including 123 head of 615 pound steers that bring $310 a hundred, not to mention a load that weighed 528 at $340. Farmers and ranchers livestock in Salina, Kansas sold 3,300 head. Their market was $2 to $10 higher. So just a foot higher in places all around this week, especially later in the week, and it looked Thursday's the best. It just keeps getting higher every day, guys. Your NationalBeefWire stick-out sale of the day is Stockman's Livestock Exchange in Dickinson, North Dakota. Told you they were going to have the Greater Midwest Livestock Auctioneer contest there. Had a good run, about 4,250 head. And I'll give you the results of the Auctioneer contest First place was about the best young auctioneer that I've heard in a long time, by the name of Jace Thompson. Going to be better than his dad, Ty Thompson, and he probably wouldn't disagree with me. Second place, Daniel Mitchell out of Ohio. In third place, my buddy Marcus Kent from down here in Florida. So they had a good offering of auctioneers there, and a good contest, and they had a hell of a good market there. Look at the steers that they sold in Dickinson. It was mostly steers. They sold 438 head of 5-weight steers. They had a weighted average weight of 565 and bring 312.70 on the weighted average. So they had some really high quotes in there, guys. To weigh that much over 5.5 and have a weighted average price of 312.70, that's a bunch higher. 922 head of 6-weight steers in Dickinson averaged 645 with a weighted average price of 285.08. That's like 20 bucks higher, guys, on the weighted average compared to a week ago. And 569 head of 7-weight steers averaged 737 pounds, the weighted average price of 260.34. Give you some individual quotes from all around. How about Woodward Livestock in Woodward, Oklahoma? Seth Hale there working that auction. 71 head, 613 pound steers in western Oklahoma bring 303. That's an impressive quote there. How about Mitchell Livestock Marketing, Mitchell, South Dakota? They sell 77 steers, weigh 760 and bring 264.5. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday, your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day, come out of Ogallala Livestock Auction in Ogallala, Nebraska, with 70 steers, weighed 823 and bring 250.5. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.